They're following him around, and they're seeing him do miracle after miracle, and yet, what do they keep doing? They keep having doubts. How about after he feeds? They watch him feed, I think it's 4,000 people. They watch him feed 4,000 people and have leftovers yet. And then he tells them, okay, we're going to get in the boat, and you're going to go to the other side, and I'm going to meet you on the other side. And so what did he say to them? He said he's going to meet them where? On the other side. Okay, so he told them, we're going to meet on the other side. So they get in a boat. What happens to them? Is a storm starts hitting them. And what do? They start freaking out because, again, they're resorting to their past. They're forgetting that what they have with them is they've got Jesus in the boat with them. He already said that they're going to meet them on the other side, and yet they're freaking out because they're worried that this storm is going to kill them. And yet Jesus said he's going to meet them where? On the other side. And so we have to remember that we don't have to worry about our past, because our past is the past. God is not looking at what you've done. He's not looking at what you haven't done. He's looking at what can you do? What will you do? And he wants to see you succeed, again, more than you do. And so we look at this, but in your heart set apart Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you, to give the reason for the hope that you have. But do this with gentleness and respect. If I was to tell you guys that in this economic time, which everyone seems to be fairly stressed out, if I was to say to you, you know what? Don't worry, because in 5 years, I promise you, I'm going to make you all millionaires. If I said that to you, you know what? These next 5 years might be challenging. You may realize, it's hard because maybe you've lost your job and maybe stuff is going on. But you know what? Guess what you're going to have as sitting in front of you? You're going to have this goal and knowledge that I have $1 million sitting in front of you. Okay? I have this, you'll get it, and it's a guarantee. Okay? Now when we look at heaven, and you're promised heaven if you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and your Savior, I mean, you have the ultimate prize. It's not $1 million. It is an eternity with living in the streets of gold and living in a mansion. And that's what it says in the Word. And so if you have that hope, if you can see that, if you can keep your eye on the prize, it says, then you will know that no matter what goes on in your life, I don't care. I've already won the prize. I've got it. I don't know when it's going to exactly happen. I can't tell you when you're going to die, but I do know if you accepted Jesus as your Lord and your Savior, you have that promise. You have that guarantee. I mean, that's how we should be living our life. We should all be walking around with great big smiles on our faces, thinking, man, I just got one more day closer to going to heaven. And that's how we should be living our lives. But most of us, we're so buried in our crap that we can't get out of that. And so what happens to us is we can't see that we've got this promise ahead of us. And we do. And it's not going to be an easy road. It says so in the Word that you're going to have trials, you're going to have tribulations. And so, but it's God pruning you. It's God making you into the person that He needs you to be. And when you get to heaven, He's going to say, well done, faithful servant. That's what He's going to say to you. Who would like to hear that from Christ? I know I would. And so that's what we have to keep our eye on. We need to be hopeful. We don't need to sit here as Christians. If we truly believe what we're saying, we need to be an example in the world that's when this stuff is going on. You know what? Look at those people. They're a bunch of weirdos. They're smiling and dancing while this stuff is going on. And that's what we need to be. We need to be that example. That when we do lose our job, when we do lose a child, when we do lose things that are so close to us, that we can say, you know what, it was God's anyways. And you know what, I have hope, and I'll share that with you, and I'll share that message with you so that you can see why you can get through this too. And that's what we need to be. And that's why we need to be healthy to do it too. Because if you're sick and miserable, who wants that? I don't know anybody that's going to come up to you and say, man, I see you're really tired all the time, you're sick all the time. Tell me, why is that? It's because you have Christ in your life? That's why you're sick all the time? That's why you have no hope? But we don't want that. We want to be that representation of Christ and what it truly means to be a Christ follower. So if we do get sick with cancer, we can say, you know what? I have God with me and by my side, and I am not alone in this. So that they can see the hope that you have. And that's truly what we want to be. We want to be hopeful. So, time management. Again, we need to think about the big 5 things in our lives. And I keep mentioning this, and I'll say this again and again and again. that if you don't have Christ, if you're not right with God right now, this is the time to do it. Is get right with God, because that's where the foundation is. I don't care how healthy you are. I don't care if you've got the best physique in the world. I don't care if you eat the best in the world. If you don't have God at the center of your life, I promise you, you are not going to be as healthy as you possibly can, and you will not be living the life that you possibly can live. And so we need to have that as our foundation. And then we need to look at our family. We need to be making sure, if we're saying to people, oh yeah, my family comes first, and we're working 90 hours a week, and we're working on weekends and working too late, I don't believe that family probably is the center of your life. I do believe we need to provide for our families. I understand that, but at the same time, they should come first, and not just providing for them, but when we give our time and our love and such, our family should be very important. And then our health, we need to be managing our time so that we can fit health into our life and taking care of our bodies. And then our finances, I mentioned I think a few times ago about doing programs like Crown Financial is a great program. Dave Ramsey's a great program. Reading books like Rich Dad Poor Dad can really teach you and understand what money is. And we need to understand, especially in this economic time, is that when you are in debt, you are a slave to the lender. So we need to realize that that is true. And then our mission life, we want to be doing and serving the purpose that God's created us. So in conclusion, we've come to this fork in the road, okay? And so, remember, it's about progress, not perfection. God is not looking for a perfect life. Remember what Paul is saying. I'm not running a perfect race. I'm running because I want to obtain the prize. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to even strive to be perfect. I want to work on becoming a better person, and it does. It's progress. And so understand that if you've gotten whatever percentage you want to put in there, if you've gotten that many percentage points better in any area of your life over these last 40 days, you're a winner. Even if it's 1% better over 40 days. Think about that. How many days are you still going to live in your life? If you could add 1% over 40 days, I mean, that's huge. So I want you to look at it as you're not looking to try to fit into a bikini in 90 days. That's not the goal of this program. And I hope that people weren't really hoping to achieve those things, that they're hoping to achieve better health, and that ultimately, when it comes down to it, I just sat with a gentleman today. He said, what are you trying to achieve in your office more than anything else? And I said to him, what we are trying to achieve in our office more than anything else is that we want to take care of our bodies to honor God. That's why we take care of our bodies. Not because I want to look good, not because I want to have my body function at 100%. We do want those things, but above all else, I want people to be wanting to take care of their bodies because God is asking us to. And that's truly what we want in this office. We want people to shift their paradigm. Is they're not exercising for themselves, they're doing it for God. And then when they are doing it, man, can you feel the glory of God. I have yet to have anyone that sat around all day long watching movies, playing video games, and eating chips and donuts, and say, man, did I feel the glory of God when I did that today? Okay, I've yet to, but have you talked to people, like, look at, if you've ever seen the movie Chariots of Fire, they ask him, why is it that you run? He goes, because I feel the glory of God when I'm running. Okay, people feel that when they're exercising and when they're doing things right for their body, so we can feel that glory. So what's next? It is decision time. You are at a fork in your road. You can choose the road less traveled, is what I would say. You can enter God's kingdom only through the narrow gate. The highway to hell is broad,